When someone tries to push you into reacting, do not react, do not speak, do not even flinch. They expect a response. They expect emotion. They expect a crack, but you give them nothing. Just calm silence. The first few seconds are the hardest. You feel the urge to defend yourself, to explain, to justify. Do not hold your ground in stillness. Notice what happens next. The energy changes. Their voice shifts. Their words become faster. They try harder. You remain calm, unmoved, unshaken. They test you, they push, they probe, they search for weakness. Every word becomes a small test. And every time you do not react, they lose balance. Their control slips. This is power most people misunderstand. Most people believe power is loud, power is anger, power is dominance, power is speaking the most, but real power is calm. Calmness creates pressure. When someone expects a reaction and you give them silence, their mind begins to race. They begin asking themselves questions. Why are they not reacting? Did I go too far? Do they know something I do not know? Your calm becomes a mirror. They start seeing their own behavior reflected back at them. This is why calmness makes aggressive people uncomfortable. Imagine a situation at work. A colleague criticizes you unfairly. Maybe they speak loudly. Maybe they accuse you of something. Maybe they try to embarrass you in front of others. Everyone in the room expects something. They expect you to defend yourself. They expect an argument. They expect tension. Instead, you pause. You breathe slowly. You stay calm. You answer slowly. Or sometimes, you do not answer at all. The room changes. People notice calmness. It is rare. It is powerful. And the person attacking you suddenly feels exposed. They wanted a fight. Instead, they are standing alone in their own aggression. Calmness exposes chaos. This works in personal relationships too. Arguments in families often escalate because both people react emotionally. One person raises their voice, the other person raises it even higher. Emotion feeds emotion. But if one person stays calm, the cycle breaks. Calmness interrupts conflict. Imagine someone trying to provoke you. Maybe they make a sarcastic comment. Maybe they insult you. Maybe they try to get a reaction from the group. If you react emotionally, they win. They got what they wanted. But if you stay calm, they lose control of the situation because their power depended on your reaction. Without your reaction, they have nothing to work with. Calmness removes their leverage. This is why calm people often appear powerful without trying. They do not chase validation. They do not chase arguments. They do not chase attention. They simply remain steady. Steadiness creates authority. Think about the calmest person you know. They are probably respected. People listen when they speak. People trust their judgment. Why? Because calmness signals control, and people trust those who control themselves. Most people cannot control their emotions. They react instantly. They defend instantly. They explain instantly. But calm people slow everything down. They pause before responding. They observe before speaking. And that pause creates power, because the person who controls the pace often controls the outcome. Imagine a negotiation. One person speaks quickly. They rush their words. They try to convince the other person listens quietly. They pause before answering. They remain relaxed. Who appears more powerful? The calm one. Calmness communicates confidence. It signals that you are not threatened. And when people sense that you are not threatened, they lose the ability to intimidate you. This is why calmness can dissolve conflict before it begins. Many confrontations rely on emotional escalation. One person pushes, the other reacts. Then the first person pushes harder. But calmness stops that chain, because there is nothing to escalate against. You cannot push against stillness. You cannot fight silence easily. You cannot manipulate someone who refuses to react emotionally. This does not mean you stay silent forever. Calmness does not mean weakness. Calmness means control. When calm people speak, their words carry weight. Because they do not speak constantly, their voice is measured, their tone is steady, and people listen. Think about leaders in difficult situations. The best leaders remain calm when others panic, when everyone is emotional. The calm person becomes the center of stability. People naturally look toward stability. This is why calmness attracts respect. Even if people cannot explain why, they simply feel it. Calmness signals strength. It shows discipline. It shows emotional mastery. And emotional mastery is rare. Most people are controlled by their emotions. A single insult can ruin their day. A single criticism can trigger anger. But calm people observe their emotions instead of obeying them. They feel the emotion, but they do not react instantly. That space between emotion and reaction is where power lives. You feel anger, but you pause. You feel frustration, but you breathe. You feel pressure, but you remain steady. In that moment, you are in control. And control over yourself is the highest form of strength. People who try to provoke you rely on emotional reactions. They rely on triggering you. Without that reaction, their strategy fails. Imagine someone insulting you in public. They expect anger. They expect a defensive reaction. But you simply look at them calmly. You breathe, you respond slowly, or you walk away. Suddenly, the situation changes. Their aggression looks unnecessary. Their behavior becomes obvious, and others notice. Calmness exposes immaturity. It exposes manipulation, and it removes the drama from the situation. Calmness also improves decision-making. When you are calm, your mind works clearly. You can see consequences. You can see patterns. You can see opportunities. Emotional reactions close the mind. Calmness opens it. This is why calm people often make better decisions under pressure. They allow the moment to pass through them. They do not fight every wave of emotion. They ride it. Then they respond with clarity. Calmness is not something you are born with. It is something you practice. It grows every time you pause instead of reacting, every time you breathe before speaking, every time you choose control instead of impulse. Over time, your reactions slow down. Your awareness grows stronger. Your presence becomes steadier. People begin to notice the difference. They notice you do not panic easily. You do not argue easily. You do not react easily. That steadiness becomes your reputation, and reputation creates influence. People trust calm people in difficult moments because calmness suggests reliability. When chaos appears, everyone looks for the person who remains steady. The calm person becomes the anchor in the storm. When everyone else moves emotionally, the calm person moves deliberately, and deliberate movement changes outcomes. In business, in relationships, in leadership, calmness builds quiet authority. People may not understand it consciously, but they feel it. They feel the steadiness. They feel the patience. They feel the control. And because of that, they trust the calm person more. Trust creates influence. Influence creates opportunity. And opportunity often flows toward those who remain steady under pressure. If you want to develop that kind of presence, the kind that commands respect without raising your voice, the kind that makes people listen without forcing them, then you must practice emotional control daily. Pause before speaking. Observe before reacting. Breathe before responding. These small habits slowly reshape your mind. They turn impulsive reactions into deliberate responses, and over time, people begin to see you differently. They see someone who cannot be easily provoked, someone who cannot be easily manipulated, someone who cannot be easily shaken, and that reputation protects you. Because people think twice before trying to challenge calm authority. If you want to learn how to build that kind of calm presence, step by step, I explain the full philosophy inside my Stoicism ebook. The link is in the description. It will show you how to train your mind to remain steady even when others lose control. Remember this: every insult is an invitation to react. Every argument is a temptation to lose control. Every provocation is a test of discipline. And the person who stays calm passes that test, not through force, not through aggression, but through mastery. Mastery of emotion, mastery of reaction, mastery of self. You do not need to dominate every situation. You only need to remain steady within yourself. Because when you control your reactions, no one else controls you. And when no one controls you, you become calm, you become steady, you become powerful. The moment you stay calm, people lose control.